And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Open for sales and service Monday through Saturday and all the time online at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Make sure you head out to Great Lakes Honda City. Let them know that DT sent you. And like I said, open for sales and service. I was there yesterday for service, getting my car inspected, and was able to get there very early before the show. Car got inspected, everything's good, and now I get to rock and roll. So thank you to Great Lakes Honda City for all the work that you do, and much appreciation for getting to experience that very recently here, as I had to take care of my car inspection and make sure I'm good with everything moving forward. So much appreciation to the team, and definitely want to shout out the service team and shout out Ron specifically. So thank you to Ron for helping me out yesterday. Appreciate you very much. We are up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.mixlr.com. So however you're connected with the show, we thank you so much for being here, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And of course, as we are here on a Thursday, Papa Joe will be joining us as always inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', giving you the list of topics and guests for the day. So PJ will be with us first as we talk about Major League Baseball, 120 plus games in, and then we will continue our Wolfpack Mentality specials that have just begun here in August in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with our first ever high school, the OnTECH Charter High School in Syracuse, New York. The Gray Wolves joining me every Thursday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Today in studio, sitting next to me in about an hour, I will be joined by Kamari McMullin, who will be speaking with me about his journey on tech, as well as playing for the football team and being an athlete on the team, meaning he plays multiple sports for this upcoming season for the Wolfpack, the Gray Wolves of OnTECH Charter High School. So a lot of great stuff coming up where sports meets life. Let's bring in the man of the hour, PJ. Papa Joe, how we doing?
Good morning, Daniel. It's very hot down here. I know people love to come to Florida, but you don't want to be here in July and August because it is blistering. It's been in the mid-90s every day with the heat index is 110. So, and we have a pool, and it's so hot that MT won't go in the pool unless it's early in the morning or late at night. So what can I tell you? Our pool temperature was 95 degrees. Figure that one out.
Yeah, I heard that the weather's been there.
The meatball finally got in town last night. I had to pick him up at Love's truck stop. He was doing his route. So he's going to be home with a couple days there for Diana and the children. And I got to go help him on tomorrow. Try to do some things around there that need to get done. So, with all my baseball stuff and sports stuff, I keep busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it being so hot, Jason Lucas was on the show earlier this week, also down in Florida around the Orlando area, and he was saying the same thing. He had his sunglasses on, the shades on early as the sun gets up early down in Florida, and so I hope that you get to cool down a little bit and have, some mercy there from the sun. Obviously appreciate that the weather is nice and hope that it stays that way. And obviously that you can have a little bit of cooler air down there in the great state of Florida. But we are here to talk about a lot of different things in the baseball world. We are 120 plus games into this season. And PJ, I would love to get your thoughts. I know you always bring us through. So for those of you that are paying attention to baseball all around the country, or those of you that are just paying attention to your team, or those that maybe have gotten busy and things have been going on and you don't know what's going on in the baseball world right now, maybe you lost touch a little bit, PJ does a great job of bringing it all together every Thursday. So PJ, take it away.
I will, Daniel, thank you. And usually what I want to start with is the Major League standings, and then we'll go from there. Because a lot of things are moving. A lot of teams are making headway. A lot of teams are playing good. Some teams are not playing well at all. As I used to say, or I still maintain, that when you're a good team, if you split with your other good teams, and sweep the bad teams, you're going to be in pretty good shape. And some of these teams are actually doing that. Let's talk about the American League first. The surprising Tampa Bay Rays, no surprise to me or anyone who follows baseball, Tampa Bay is still leading the Yankees. They got a 5-game lead. Both teams were 6-4 last 10 starts. There's no rhyme or reason to figure out what Tampa Bay is doing. Just that their manager, Kevin Cash, has been grossly underrated over the years. And he puts together a terrific lineup and pitching prospects that continue to baffle the baseball gods like me. I don't know. He keeps pulling rabbits out of his hat, and it's good to see. Because the Yankees, everyone hates the Yankees. You either love the Yankees or they hate the Yankees. And I find myself watching the Yankees most every day because I can pull them in on MLB channel. So, with that being said, let's go to the Central Division, where the White Sox are leading the Twins by 4 games and the Guardians by 5.5. The White Sox surprised me this week. I watched a couple games. They play good defense. They have a fair pitching staff and a fair offensive stance. They win, and they win ugly, but they win. And they're 66 and 60. That means there's 6 games over 500. Come on now. Where do you think you're going to go with that? And the Twins are 63 and 65 in second place. No, folks. I like the White Sox. I like the way they play. But frankly, when it comes down to push, beat, and shove later on with the playoffs, this team is not going to be there. American League West is the same way. The Astros are 64 and 63. They got a 2-game lead over the Rangers, who are 62 and 65. Now, where are you going with that? Both of these guys. And the Mariners are 4 games out at 60 and 67. You can't win games. You can't win pennants with those kind of records. And it's going to prove actually the National League is much better in much better shape than the American League with respect to good teams.
Yeah.
The Astros, the Rangers, White Sox, Twins, they haven't put together a solid season. And it's tough for them. It's tough for me. It's tough for the guys that bet out there. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to bet $1,000 that the White Sox can hang in there and win the pennant? I don't know. You want to piss away $1,000? That's your business. Let's go to the National League.
Well, PJ, before we go to the National League, I want to stop with the American League for a second here. There's a couple thoughts and a couple suggestions here. One of them is, do you believe that now if the playoffs happen today, if this was the end of the regular season for Major League Baseball, the Rays would have the 1 seed in the American League, the White Sox would have the 2, the Astros would have the 3, the Yankees would be the first wild card, the second wild card would be the Boston Red Sox, and the Twins would be the third wild card, taking over the spot and leaving the Rangers out, who are a half game back. The Blue Jays are a game back. The Guardians are a game and a half. The Orioles are a game and a half. The Tigers are a game and a half. And the Mariners are 2.5. So we know that this is all close. So I'd love to get your thoughts, PJ, about where things stand right now. Are you surprised, not surprised of the Yankees? A lot of people are saying they're not hitting well. They've won 3 in a row, but they're the number 1 wild card team. The Red Sox are right behind them. And you talked about how the Red Sox were counted out this season. So if the playoffs started today, we'd have 3 teams from the American League East, which is typical in these last few years. What are your thoughts on if the playoffs were to happen today?
I was going to broach that subject a little later on,
okay.
But I can do that right now. I just have to find the right screen.
Okay. No
I got a wild card standings here. Okay. We're looking, you're saying that the Yankees are +9 in the games behind. They're playing that. I still think that the Yankees will win their division.
Okay.
I don't know if Tampa Bay can copy and paste their season together for the rest of the year. I just don't see it. The Red Sox are playing really, really well. They've the second half of the season, they've really bolstered their pitching staff. They got a couple of good trades that are helping them out. Minnesota, Detroit, these are all guys that even though they have poor records, they're only a game and a half out. And the reason why I don't think the Central Division is going anywhere, because most of those teams we're talking about are in the Central Division. The White Sox will probably win their division, but the rest of the teams I don't see being there. There's a lot of ball to be played, and subsequently there's going to be a lot of changes, and those changes happen awful quick. So if I can get to the National League, I can put all this together.
Yeah.
The National League, the Braves are leading the Phillies by 4.5 games. The Braves and the Phillies are both excellent teams. I expect both of them to be in the playoffs. But our pal Jerry down in Pennsylvania is going to be happy with the way I think. I still think the Phillies have the better team, and I'd like to see the Phillies play a little bit better. They got excellent pitching with Nola and Sanchez, and they got 3 super all-star hitters and Trey Turner, Schwarber, and Bryce Harper, and Stout, and they're just a superior hitting team. And I think that they'll put together a push here to pull the Phillies over the Braves. But that being said, they have a lot to play for. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10 games, but the Braves were only 4-6. And the Yankees beat up a little bit. So the Phillies are making a run, and I expect them to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
National League Central, the Brewers and the Cubs are all better than anyone else in the league. The Cubs, by Craig Counsell, used to be the manager of the Brewers. They're playing good ball. They're 20 games over 500. The Brewers, with their excellent pitching staff, and I think the Cy Young Award winner Jacob Mizrachi are going to hang in there. The Brewers will be very, very, very difficult to beat. Now, I said that because I watched the series with the Dodgers and the Brewers, where the Brewers took 2 out of 3. The Dodgers are floundering a little bit. I can't say that they're not going to win their division because they're 9 games up. But let me tell you something about the Dodgers, which I want to get into, which is going to make a big difference in people's thinking. The Dodgers, as we know and as our fans know, they're the best team in baseball. Not by far anymore, but they're still the best team playing right now. But there's some problems that the Dodgers have, and we know there's a pitching problem. But just let me go through what I got here, and we can discuss that.
Okay.
The Dodgers' injuries are probably more important to this team than any other team, because we talk so much about the guy. If one guy is out, you plug in another guy, he does the job, and so on and so on. If the pitching is fair, some guy comes up and throws a good game, the pitching is really good again. That's not the way it goes, especially when you have injuries. Now, Edwin Diaz was a huge signing, something like $50 million a year from the Mets. He has not got anyone out this year. He has inflammation on his right side. He tried to pitch twice last week, got bombed both places. The results from an August 19th MRI showed no structural damage. So what is it? It's a head case. He can't get anyone out. Now he's down. He's got his trainers are trying to post him up. He's got to have a good game, or the Dodgers are going to piss away an awful lot of money. We talk about Ohtani all the time, and I'm going to talk about him later on. But Ohtani has got a left knee inflammation, right biceps discomfort. The guy is a stud. We know that. He's the best player in baseball. He's probably going to be pitching sometime in September. But he's playing so well lately, carrying the Dodgers in a couple games. He's moved himself back up into the most valuable player award in my estimation. And I'll broach that subject too when I get through with this. One of the more important injuries was to Will Smith, their World Series and All-Star catcher. He's not going to be. He's transferred to a 60-day list, so he's not going to help him at all. I don't look for him to play again this year. Justin Robleski, who's stepped in really good for some of the stars like Glasnow and Snell. Now he's back on. He's on an injured reserve list. If he comes back, he's probably going to be throwing some relief innings. Tyler Glass now, super pitcher that they've signed. He's been hurt for over 60 days because of the same problems he's had for years, which is at the same time he's got some inflammation somewhere. And the guy's tall, he's about 6'5", he stretches way out. And if you've heard me talk in the past, and anytime I talk about pitching, pitching is a violent motion. It's violent. When you see close, slow motion action of a pitcher, the bending of the elbow and the arm are so drastic. It's amazing that they've made you can throw anything. I remember years ago when there was a pitcher called Dave Dravecki. Let's go back 30 years, 40 years probably. He was a good pitcher, left-handed pitcher. He had some problems, and they decided to let him pitch after he warmed up a few times and threw some bullpen sessions. Well, when he went out to pitch, it was with the Cubs. He delivered the ball, and his left arm snapped, broke in half. That's how violent pitching is. Of course, that's really drastic. But that's the way it is with these guys. And you've got to have, if you got a 26-man roster, half of them got to be pitchers. Another very important injury for the Dodgers is Dalton Rushing, who's the backup catcher. He was doing a super job, great job. He can't catch anymore. I don't know if he's going to come back this year because the information I have is incomplete. There are some other pitchers. There's 5 or 6 pitchers, minor pitchers that are still waiting to come back on. Blake Snell is one of them, former Cy Young Award winner, nasty lefty. He's just a tough out. He's tough, and the Dodgers definitely need a right hand, left hand to keep going. What I want to get into next is the wild card situations you were just talking about. If I can find the screen.
Yeah, and I do want to make a note here as we're talking about Major League Baseball, 120 plus games into this regular season of 2026 here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. I would like to put in a petition for the Arizona Diamondbacks to stay in the West, but to move from the National League to the American League, because if they did, they'd be winning the division right now. So they are currently in third place in the National League West with a record of 67-61. If they were to go to the American League West, they would be in first place, 3 games above the Astros, who are in first place, and above the Rangers and the Mariners. So I'm just going to say it right now, PJ. If the Major League Baseball office would allow this, I would very much appreciate if the Arizona Diamondbacks could switch from the National League West to the American League West, stay in the West, but just move over, because in their crowded division of the National League West, third place is a 67-61 record. But if they were to move to where the Astros, the Mariners, and the Rangers live, they would be in first place right now.
Well, I know you were going to put that in there. You got to play for your Zona boys, which is true. But they're not playing well enough, Daniel. And San Diego is going to stay ahead of them because San Diego has better pitching and hitting. I watched the Red Sox and the Arizona play last night, and it was a 5-5 game, and I couldn't watch the end because I had to go to sleep. But they got some issues too. They got some rehabilitation going on too. But Corbin Carroll, who is a sensational player, can't carry the team by himself. Now they got Kettle and Marte. Whoever happened to him, he didn't show up one day for a game, so they can't talk to him, and you got to put him on a restricted list. I don't know where he is. Maybe he's got some personal problems, but you just don't leave your boys hanging like that. Call up the manager and say, "Hey, listen, I got some problems, some personal problems. I got to go home. I got to straighten him out." No one heard from him. So probably in saying that now today, maybe someone's heard about him, but Kettle, you got to do better than that. Let's go to the wild card standings And you're justified in saying that the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox will probably sweep into this thing because the rest of the guys just are not strong enough. Texas, Toronto, Cleveland, Baltimore. They're just not, they can't win enough in their own division to get ahead.
Yeah.
Boston has proved to me that they are very good and they can play with the Yankees, they can play with the Rays. We're all assuming that Tampa Bay is going to win a division. I don't think so. I think the Yankees are too tough. I follow them too much. I know what their pitching staff is like. I know what their hitters are like. And I don't like what Tampa Bay is trying to do. They try to do it every year. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But they just play what I call small ball. They bunt, they hit and run, they do this, they take extra bases, they steal bases. They're just a very aggressive team.
Yeah.
But if you've got a good catcher behind the plate, you can throw these guys out. But not saying that they're not very good. They're good and they play good baseball. But I don't think they're better than the Yankees. So we got the National League you can talk about too, where the Cubs are up by 6 games, the Phillies are up 2. Now the Phillies have just signed someone yesterday, and I'm going to go back to the Yankees on this.
Yeah.
The Yankees had to let Nestor Corres go. And we used to call him Nasty Nestor when he was pitching for the Yankees. Nasty left-hander, moves the ball up and down and around between. The Phillies signed him to a major league contract, not a minor league contract. So they're expected to pay him major league dollars, and he'll probably take some warm-up tosses in the minor leagues for a while and see if he can come back and help them. Definitely, the Phillies could use one more good left-handed pitcher, and that guy's as good as they go. When you talk about the rest of the guys, San Diego is even. Arizona, 1 back. Cardinals, Miami. After that, it's nothing. Arizona probably is the only chance with San Diego to try to get by. We're gonna assume that Atlanta's going to sweep the division, which they're good enough to do, but I don't think that they can play better than the Phillies. I like the Phillies as to win their division, and I like them if they don't in the wild card situations. So, I got something else to yak about, which is stats.
Yeah.
I follow stats a lot. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say to look at some of the pieces before we get into the statistics to, take a look at some of these things that we've discussed. You brought up a bunch of points here and talked about the wild card and whatnot. As I spoke about, if the wild card was to start today in the 2026 Major League Baseball season, the Rays would be the number 1 seed, followed by the White Sox and the Astros. The Yankees would be the 4 seed, the first wild card. They'd be followed by the Red Sox and the Twins. But the wild card is so close in the American League that we have the Rangers, the Blue Jays, the Guardians, the Orioles, and the Tigers all within a game and a half. The Tigers and the Orioles are a game and a half back, as well as the Guardians. The Blue Jays are 1 game out, and the Rangers are a half a game out. So, PJ, I'd love to get your thoughts here on how tight this wild card race is in the American League between the Twins, the Rangers, the Blue Jays, the Guardians, the Orioles, and the Tigers. I also want to make a note that none of them have a winning record right now. So any of those teams fighting for the last spot still have a losing record. So your thoughts on how close the wild card is and your thoughts on somebody making it in the wild card with a losing record.
Well, that's a good question. But when you talk about the teams that are above the teams you're talking about, I don't look for those teams to back up at all.
Yeah.
And in talking about Minnesota, Texas, Toronto, Cleveland, and Baltimore, and Detroit, and Seattle, they're all between a half a game and 2.5 out. I just don't see these teams moving. I like Chicago where they are. They're probably going to make the playoffs because they're going to win their division. If that's the case, they'll probably have a first-round bye. The Yankees got to be real careful because if they don't win their division, they're going to wind up playing something like Chicago, and they played the Yankees tough. The other teams we talked about don't have enough strength to pull through this. I don't see it. if we go to the National League, like when Arizona does have enough players to make a push to go past San Diego. But I don't see anyone here in the American League that blows my skirt up, as MP always says. And they barely play 500 ball. And if you remember what I said earlier, that if you're a major league team and you're a manager and you look at the schedule, if you play good teams, you split with them, you've got to sweep the bad teams. And whoever's played these teams we're talking about below 500, you got to sweep them. So if they do play well, whoever they are, it could be the Yankees, the Tampa Bay, or whatever. If they do sweep, then it puts these guys down farther. And I don't anticipate that happening. When you go to the National League, if you want to use your same criteria for that, Arizona really is the only team that's playing well enough. St. Louis and Miami are there, but St. Louis 65 and 63. The Marlins are even at 64 and 64. Again, we're talking about two teams that play fair but not good enough to get in the hunt.
Yeah.
I look for Chicago and Philly and San Diego probably to make the playoffs. Arizona's dangerous because they seem to play well at the end of the year. I don't know why that is, because most of the guys play baseball after 162 games. They're tired. They're spent. They got cramps everywhere. Their arms hurt. Their backs hurt. Catchers are crying. You know, it's a tough road to hoe. Well, you play 162 games, you play 30 preseason games, and you play 10 or 12 postseason games. That's over 200 games. I mean, if you're a starting catcher or starting first baseman, that says a lot. I mean, you're taxing your body beyond. When I go to stats, I think when I started talking about stats, there's an area that I always like to talk about.
Yeah.
And that is what player is strong enough to pull their team into the playoffs. Now, when I talk about stats, and when I describe them, you'll understand what I'm saying. Last week, I told you that Jordan Alvarez from Houston has got a very good chance of sweeping the Cy Young. I'm not the Cy Young, most valuable player. Hitting average, runs better than in home runs. Those three. Now, this guy is very close to sweeping those. However, in 1 week, things have changed for him so much because there's players behind him that are playing better, and Alvarez is not hitting as well. Batting average, Jordan Alvarez is leading at 317. Now, yet last week, he had a 20-point lead over whoever it was. Yandy Diaz, I remember, Tampa Bay. And now things have drawn close because he's not hitting as well. He's got 36 homers. You got a bunch of guys behind him with Caminero, 35, Ben Rice of the Yankees, 34, who went yard last night again, 2 nights in a row. He's got to pay attention to that category too. And runs better than he's leading with 88. Pete Alonso, Baltimore's got 82. Caminero's got 80. Ben Rice, 78, 79. So Alvarez is a stud. Now, when you talk about a most valuable player like Alvarez, plays for a team like Houston, is not very good. Papa Joe, are you saying that someone like Alvarez could carry their team into the playoffs? The answer to that is yes, he can. However, if that trend continues and opposing managers see that, then they simply pitch around Alvarez, make the other players try to win, try to beat him. I don't know. Will I think that Alvarez wins the Triple Crown? No, it's too hard. And he's under a great deal of pressure because I'm sure there's Houston pundits over there talking the same way that I'm doing, that, you know, he could carry the team, but he can't carry them by himself. And it's not going to happen. Pitching wise, that's a different story. Last week, I thought that Cam Schlichter and Dylan Cease, Schlichter from the Yankees and Cease from Toronto, are the head and shoulders above winning a Cy Young award. pitching leaders, Sonny Gray has 15 wins for Boston. I saw him pitch a couple days ago. Sonny Gray has 15 wins. He got 2.65 ERA. When I talk about Schlisker, he's only 10-6. We got a 2.19 ERA. Then Dylan Cease is only 7-5 as a pitcher record. He's got a 2.42 ERA, and he's got 201 strikeouts. Those three guys are going to be jockeying around for the Cy Young Award. In order to get to more stats, Sonny Gray, of course, is leading at 15 wins. Earned run average, Schlisker is a 2.19. Now, it was a couple of weeks ago, Schlisker was under 2 for ERA.
Yeah.
He's been hit a little bit the last couple of games. Even though he won last night. I don't think he's. Pundits are very strange when it comes to voting for guys for awards. I'm no different. Camp Schlisker is an excellent pitcher for the Yankees. Dylan Cease is a former Cy Young Award winner. He's pitching balls out for Toronto, doing a great job. Very, very difficult to hit. You can see the frustration on hitters when they're facing Dylan Cease. He's a magician with the ball. Reminds me a lot of Greg Maddux. Moves the ball in and out, up and down and around. Curves, sliders, changeups, everything. And Sonny Gray is just like that. Now, in saying that, I'm going to state here now that I think that Sonny Gray, because of the way the Boston has moved up in the standings, he's carrying them. And I think he has an excellent chance for winning the Cy Young Award. Now, those three, it's going to be between those three guys. No one else is close. So we look for that to see what happens later on. Again, next week things could change. Saves. Brian Baker's got 36 saves ahead of Case Smith of Cleveland with 31. Nothing there to talk about. Let me go to the National League. And we'll get these guys up.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we're talking about. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just going to say, as we look at these different pieces and we look at statistics and where everybody's at, I know you spoke on Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros, that he could win the Triple Crown this season. To win the Triple Crown, you have to have the highest batting average, home run count, and RBI count, all three of those things in the entire league, be it the American League or the National League. It hasn't happened many times historically, PJ. I put this list up earlier this week, and I love to share it with you since you love being a historian of the sport. Here is everyone in Major League Baseball history who has won the Triple Crown. It has not happened much. From 1878 to where we are right now, the first to do it was Paul Hines, who did it with the Providence Grays in the National League. Then in 1894, it was Hugh Duffy of the Boston Bean Eaters of the National League. Then in 1878 was Paul Hines. 1894 was Hugh Duffy. 1901 was Nap LaJoie of the Philadelphia Athletics in the American League. 1909, Ty Cobb did it with the Detroit Tigers in the American League. He only had to hit 9 home runs in 1909 to lead in RBI, batting average, and home runs. In 1912, it was Heine Zimmerman of the Chicago Cubs in the National League. In 1922 and 1925, it was Rogers Hornsby of the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League. In 1933, there was 2 players, both of Philadelphia franchises, back when Philly had a National League team and an American League team. Chuck Klein did it with the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League in 1933, and he was matched by Jimmy Fox, who did it with the Philadelphia Athletics in the American League in 1933. Then in 1934, Lou Gehrig did it with the New York Yankees in the American League. In 1937, Joe Madwick of the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League. In 1942 and in 1947, Ted Williams won the Triple Crown, both with the Boston Red Sox in the American League. In 1956, that man they call Mickey Mantle did it with the New York Yankees in the American League. And in 1966, Frank Robinson did it with the Baltimore Orioles in the American League. In 1967, Carl Yastrzemski made the Triple Crown with the Boston Red Sox in the American League. And the last time it happened was 2012, 14 years ago, with Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers in the American League. So it has not happened many times from 1878 to now. And the last time it happened was 14 years ago. And before that, it was back in the 60s. So Alvarez would be in a very, very small company if he was to find a way to get it this year.
Well, that's true. Those are good stats. I can comment a couple times. Going back to Ty Cobb and Rogers Hornsby, the reason why Ty Cobb couldn't hit any homers, or Hornsby too, was because they threw spitballs back then. And spitballs is a nasty, sort of a nasty sinker slider. And it's called spitball because the guy spit on the ball and threw it.
Yeah. And
worked like a knuckleball. It couldn't hit it. But anyways, spitballs were outlawed years ago. Mickey Mantle was my favorite baseball player. I idolized him growing up. I saw very few games because they didn't televise that much. They were in black and white too. But I would lay in my room and at night and turn my little transistor radio on and listen to the Yankees and root for Mickey Mantle. He was the best player I ever saw or tried to see. Let me get into some National League stuff here.
Sure.
And I think you'll know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Batting, Luis Arraez from San Francisco to Philly is leading with 319. Now, Arraez is an excellent addition by the Phillies. They needed another bat to go to three that I talked about before. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper, and Stott, and the rest of these guys. Riamoto. They got a stud lineup. And if their pitching ever comes more solid, I think they sweep by the Braves. And I will say that now. I do like Philadelphia in that division. So Jerry, give us a few kudos down there.
Yeah.
Home runs. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber's got 37. Matt Olson in Atlanta, 36. And my favorite player in the National League is Pete Crow Armstrong. He's got only 31 homers. Now, Pete Crow Armstrong, along with Ohtani, probably should be talked about for the most valuable player in the American League and National League. Let me keep going here, and then I'll get back to that. Runs batted in, Sal Stewart, a terrific rookie. Got 94 RBI. Terrific. 22 years old. Not going to cover up the ball for Cincinnati. Again, if Cincinnati had some pitching, they'd be right up there. And pitching-wise, Christopher Sanchez got 16 wins for Philly. He's a nasty lefty. It gets a lot of guys swinging it, missing on off-speed stuff. Saves or earned run average, Jacob Mizorowski's 1.75. Mizorowski for the Brewers, he was a good prospect, but somehow he grew up a little bit. I don't know how. He learned how to pitch a little bit better. He's a big, tall, lanky kid, 6'7", weighs up maybe 190. You know, he's got a very whip-ash motion. He doesn't take any prisoners. This kid throws in the upper hundreds, 102, 105, 106. He throws the fastest fastball in our league history. And he deserves all the kudos. Now, him alone could probably carry Milwaukee. But Milwaukee's got a very good team. I'm not going to, those are my Brewers, my Mary's MT's team. You know, we got to pull them through. Another pitcher with a 2.16 ERA is Chris Sale from Atlanta. Now, he used to be with Boston. Won a Cy Young Award there. Pitching really well for Atlanta. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Chris Sale. There's nothing wrong with Atlanta. But I still think that Philly is a better team than we did. Now we get to Christopher Sanchez. He's got a 2.51 ERA with 16 wins. Now, do I put him ahead of Mizorowski for a Cy Young Award? I would say yes, because Mizorowski doesn't have the record that this guy has. Sanchez he's throwing good. He's got wins. He's got low ERA. Strikes out a lot of guys. Mizorowski, they're being real careful with Mizorowski. they're giving them maybe 5 innings or 6 innings at a time, instead of trying to stretch them out to finish a game, which Rogers, Hornsby, and Ty Cobb would roll around in their graves. They found out what pitchers are doing these days. Pitch 5 innings, you get a win, you go sit down.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, what Sanchez, I think, deserves to call because he's got a good ERA, strikes out a lot of guys, and he's got the wins. He's playing for a very good team. Mizorowski's playing for an excellent team, but it hasn't got the stats. The reason I think that Sanchez is better than Mizorowski is because he's got more. He delivers more to the plate, more substance. Mizorowski's just a strikeout pitcher. He's excellent, and he scares guys. I mean, that's how good he is. He's 6'7", long stretch. He's thrown maybe 6 inches or 8 inches closer to the plate. Normal guy, sort of like your man Randy Johnson years ago.
Yeah.
But Sanchez has got all the goods. He's pitching well, and when he pitches well, the Yankees win or the Phillies win. And I'm going to say this again: I still like the Phillies in their division against Atlanta. For saves, the guy I like all season long is Mason Miller. He's still right there. He's got 31 saves. He's got a .81 ERA.
Yeah,
that's less than a run a game. Now the guy above him, O'Brien Riley, got 32 saves, one more, but he doesn't have the stats that Mason Miller does. Mason Miller's got it all. He's 6'6", 220, throws the hell out of the ball too. He's an excellent reliever. Probably hasn't pitched more than 35 innings. Only given up less than a run every time out. .81. Daniel, that's it for a little while, and I have other stuff to yak at, but I need a break. I need some water.
Yeah. So PJ giving us a lot of information here about the current standings in the American League, the National League, where teams are at when it comes to the wild card, as well as taking a look at statistics and potential award winners toward the end of the season. We will take a step aside for a fast break inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. And when we spin back around, I will attack some of these pieces, and PJ and I will discuss further thoughts on Major League Baseball here this morning. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Gina Husted. I'm part owner of Skippy's Ice Cream. The other half is my better half, Don Husted Jr. When somebody comes up to the truck and it's a family, it's nice that the older generation is nostalgic and they can tell the younger generation, back in my day, we used to have the truck around our neighborhood. So now you're lucky because the truck can come to your party, and you're lucky that this truck is at a festival and you're getting to buy the ice cream. And basically we're ice cream that comes to you now, specifically comes to you, not for you waiting for us, we're coming to you. We will do neighborhoods if you have a block party. We do birthdays, we do anniversaries, we do celebrations of life, we do wedding showers, we do festivals, we'll do corporate events, we have a lot of corporate picnics, we have family reunions, so it's a whole wide range of whatever party you have, we'd love to be at. We're so appreciative of the community, always coming up to us at festivals and calling us to have different events. We have a lot of return customers. We always have people coming up to our truck. We're always there for the community. We always try to give back to different organizations and fundraisers, and so I think the community sees that. We like to give back to them. This is where we live. This is where we were raised. This is where our kids were raised. So the community is very special to us. I mean, obviously we've lived here our whole lives, so it means a lot that they come up to our truck and that they choose us, because we're just there to please the community and deal with as many people as we can in this community, because this is, like I said, where we were born and raised. If you'd like to get in touch with Skippy's Ice Cream and have us at your next event, I would suggest using our email, skipthecake, SKIPTHECAKE, skipthecake@gmail.com. That's the fastest way to get a hold of us. It's the easiest way to get a hold of us, and that's going to get the fastest response from us. If you choose to call, if you don't have an email, then you can call 315-456-9750, and we'll be glad to get back to you as soon as we can. Skippy's Ice Cream, the original ice cream truck.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So K9 Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. K9 Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that K9 Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making K9 Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
Hi, this is Chris Rauda.
And Colleen Rakowski from Gray's Craze of Clay.
It's a fun, innovative, upscale catering solution. We've turned eating into a whole new experience. Each of our boards is packed with delicious mix of artisan cheeses. We use premium cured meats, fresh fruits, nuts, and all of the sweet touches that really bring out the best in every perfect bite.
We offer something as small as a grab and go that feeds one, maybe two people, to our large board that can serve anywhere up to 25, 28 people. So we have the ability to really meet and hopefully exceed all of our customers' expectations when it comes to the different varieties of things that we have.
Charcuterie boards or boxes are healthy, fresh, delicious. They're made to order. We're baking the breads here daily. We're baking the cookies here daily. All of our dips are homemade, made in-house. All of our spreads are all made in-house.
When you open that board or box that we have delivered or you have picked up, we want you to know that it was made with care and designed to completely elevate your event, celebration, or meeting.
We've catered parties and events for up to 300 people. So if you're walking in to grab something for lunch or something for date night or movie night, that's great too. Our events go from you eating in the car on the way home to a catering event in a rehearsal dinner or cocktail hour or party.
When we do, again, know what the event is specifically for a wedding, we like to schedule tastings so the bride and groom can come in and see what we have to offer, and we can then, as we talk, to try to understand what they're looking for, what the venue's like. We do like to have that one-on-one interaction when it comes to catering bigger events.
Our address is 4599 State Route 31, Suite 5, in Clay, New York. We're on the corner of Route 31 and Henry Clay at Clay Marketplace.
You can order on the phone by calling area code 315-409-4171 or online at grayscraze.com/clay-ny. Come visit us at Gray's Craze of Clay, New York,
where we want you to celebrate everything.
Hey everybody, this is Rockney Roberts from Willow Rock Brewing Company. We are here in Cicero at the Willow Rock Pizza Pub.
And I'm Kevin Williams, also from Willow Rock Brewing Company. Happy to be here and happy to be partnering with CNS and Dan Tortora.
You want some place where you can feel comfortable and hopefully ingratiate yourself with the community. And Kevin, he grew up right down the road from here. I grew up in Brewerton, so not too far away. We know the area, we know the people, they're great, and we were just really excited to be able to come to the area.
Yeah, and having the opportunity to meet some of these coaches, some of the people in general already, and seeing the CNS colors kind of around, and already partnering on a smaller level with individual teams really made this make sense to us to really formalize kind of a partnership with the school and get this rolling.
You know, Willow Rock to me has always been about high quality beverages, high quality experiences, and now high quality food in our pizza pub. You know, that was something new for us when we came to Cicero. Right from the drop, we knew we were going to have a focus on the highest quality food to go with our high quality beer. At the Willow Rock Pizza Pub, you're getting high quality, hand cut, top notch ingredients. We're open for lunch. That's a really important thing for us, is to be able to get that person in here like, hey, you only got 30 minutes for lunch, but we're gonna have something for you that you can get quickly and available to everybody.
Yeah, we wanted something that was just a little bit outside the box, a little bit outside of comfort zone, but still something that you could rely on to be consistent and easy to look at and easy to be like, oh, I can see myself eating this. I can see myself wanting to have that more than once. Eating a whole pizza like our beef on weck pizza, I've never seen one anywhere. It's just a great ideas, great inspiration across the board. We're their spot to stop. We're their friendly neighborhood watering hole, as well as pizza place and place to stop for a restaurant. Not just beer drinkers here. We've got wines, we got cocktails, we got non-alcoholic stuff for the kids.
The location is more important today than it ever has been before, and we're lucky enough to be here in Cicero. The Willow Rock Pizza Pub is a place where you can bring your family. You can come in, you can grab a soda, you can relax. You can come after a game, before a game, your parents, your grandparents. Our goal is to make sure that everyone's comfortable here. We want students, we want athletes, we want your coaches. It's going to be a good time. So come here, enjoy the high quality food, high quality beverage that we're going to offer to everybody. And hey, go North Stars.
We're so happy to have the North Stars. We are very much a kid-friendly establishment. We have tons of space outside for everybody to be playing outside, as well as listening to live music, enjoying some pizza.
The Willow Rock Pizza Pub is open 6 days a week here in Cicero. That is Tuesday through Sunday. And our website is willowrockbrew.com, and our socials are at Willow Rock Brew. So find us on the net, find us in person. We'll see you soon.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Papa Joe and I have a few more minutes here before we get set up with the Wolfpack Mentality, our episode 2 feature in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with OnTECH Charter High School, the first high school to sign the multimedia marketing partnership with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, making history here in August. So, PJ, your final thoughts.
Okay, Daniel, I got a few things to yak about, and perhaps maybe one you could do a little voting on this one too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about the most valuable player in the National League this year, and of course, when you think about that, you think about Ohtani, justifiably so. However, young man named Pete Crow Onstead of the Cubs is hitting .282, 31 homers and 79 RBIs. Now, he's carrying the Cubs. Do they have enough to take over Milwaukee? Maybe. I'm not sure. We talked about guys carrying their teams. Jordan Alvarez, of course. There's a few guys, especially Ben Rice, the Yankees, are carrying this team. Now, when you talk about a most valuable player, I don't know what it means anymore. Is it the most valuable player of your team? Is it the most valuable player of the league? Most valuable player of all the leagues? I don't know. But what I do know is that we have a generational talent that we talk about every year, and that's Ohtani. Now, to his defense, Ohtani is hitting .294 with 30 homers and 80 RBIs. Is that enough to take over a Pete Crow Armstrong, who hits .282, 31 RBIs, 31 homers, 79 RBIs? Is it enough? Also, is it enough for Ohtani with an 8-2 record, 1.79 ERA to get a Cy Young Award winner? Folks, these are difficult answers, difficult questions to answer. I mean, I've told you about what I think Sanchez is doing for Philadelphia. Ohtani has got a chance to win the batting title, which is .294, 30 homers and 80 RBIs he's got right now. Lately, he's been carrying the Dodgers. One man can do it. He's got big shoulders. Now, if you can put a poll up, who would you vote for National League Most Valuable Player? Pete Crow Armstrong or Ohtani?
Okay.
And another one, you could say, who could win the Cy Young Award this year in the National League? Could it be Christopher Sanchez or Ohtani? So there's a couple other players I'd like to talk about, and these are the future All-Stars. These guys are young and they're tough. The Rookie of the Year of the American League, I got Kevin McGonigal with Detroit. This kid's getting 282, 13 homers, 52 RBIs. He's got 12 stolen bases. Not only that, he leads off for Detroit. So he sets the table for Detroit. 21 years old. Now we go to the National League. We got Sal Stewart, who I've talked about before, Cincinnati. He's at 258, 28 homers, 91 RBIs, and he's got 12 stolen bases. He's only 22 years old, and he plays a mean first base. Again, these kids are going to be future stars. They're going to be stars probably by the end of the season, but they're both of those teams, both of those kids got a chance next year to carry their team to a playoff. This year, Cincinnati doesn't have much of a chance, and Detroit doesn't have much of a chance either. So if you get to watch these kids, enjoy them while you can, because probably in a couple of years, the Yankees will pay them $59 million to play first base or something. So that's it, Daniel. I don't have any more notes, except we talk about Ohtani. I mean, I can't have a telecast without talking about Ohtani, what he does for the Dodgers, what he's doing now, and especially if he ever gets back on the mound in the first week of September, he throws a couple of good games. It's conceivable that he could be the most valuable player and the Cy Young Award winner. That is really stretching it, but let me tell you, if anyone could do it, it's this kid.
Yeah, and the poll is up on X, the former Twitter.
Right.
Make sure you go over there at CallDT. That's CALLDT. If you had a vote, who would you select as the National League MVP for the 2026 Major League Baseball season? Pete Crow Armstrong or Shohei Ohtani? You could vote right now. And we have a couple other polls I put up this morning. Who would you rather see? This is football-wise, but who would you rather see at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for the 26-27 season? Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders? It was 50-50. Now it's 80-20 for Shedeur Sanders. And feet to the fire, who are you picking to win the American League East? The Tampa Bay Rays, the New York Yankees, or the Boston Red Sox? 25% of you have picked the Red Sox. 25% of you have picked the Yankees. 50% of you have picked the Rays. And 100% of you agree with the College Football Playoff preseason AP poll that the Clemson Tigers should not be ranked. So 100% of you have agreed with that as well. The polls are up. Vote in them amongst a bunch of different sports and opportunities on X, the former Twitter, at CallDT. Papa Joe, as always, I appreciate your time as we get ready for Wolfpack Mentality and OnTECH Charter High School. I send you, MT, Joey, and the fam, Diana, and everybody my love, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Okay, bud. Take care.
Take care. That coming from Papa Joe. One more time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We're going to take a quick step aside, and when we come back, I'll be here with the Wolfpack Mentality, OnTECH Charter High School. Joining me in studio, Kamari McMullin, right after this fast break. Stay with us here, where sports meets life.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. It could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, We just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people, that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and then those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Open for sales and service Monday through Saturday. And I am honored and privileged to be here. No picture in picture. You're sitting in the studio with me. Normally we have some picture in picture stuff, but we're here with the Wolfpack Mentality. Kamari McMullin is here with me of OnTECH Charter High School in Syracuse. He is a football student athlete and plays multiple positions on the team. And so we are happy to have him here in studio. As you know, OnTECH Charter High School made history here in August, signing their multimedia marketing partnership with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, the first high school to do anything of this style of partnership ever in central and upstate New York history, maybe in the state of New York overall. And so to make history with OnTECH Charter High School has been amazing. And now to make history with Kamari being the first guest in studio. So Kamari, you will always be the first one to sit in studio. How are we doing?
Good, and you?
I'm doing very well. My dog is also here with Kamari. Those of you that know Miss Lily. So Kamari, how's the morning going? How you been? How's everything?
My morning's going good and everything. How about you?
Doing well. You are a Michigan Wolverine fan.
Yes, sir.
We'll
yes,
forgive you for that here on the show. So how did you become a Wolverine fan?
Bryce Underwood.
Bryce Underwood, okay. And what about Bryce Underwood stuck out to you?
I just genuinely liked watching his game during high school, so I transitioned over when he went to Michigan.
Okay. All right. So for you, Kamari, to be a part of OnTECH Charter High School, obviously you're representing the school, not just as an athlete, but also as a student. Bring me into your journey and how you ended up at OnTECH Charter High School.
So basically, when I was looking to go to high school, I was trying to find a program to play football at, and just looking around everywhere else, I really wanted to give Bishop Grimes a shot. So that's where we first partnered with Bishop Grimes, and I just really thought that it would be fun to go play with another school that's outside of the city for real. So
Yeah.
That's why I decided to go, and we had fun.
So you went to Bishop Grimes, obviously Bishop Grimes and Bishop Ludden combined. So what happened to bring you to OnTECH?
So when Bishop Grimes closed, coming to OnTECH was I wanted to I didn't want to go and leave the school. I wanted to be able to make a team there at the school that I was at. So I
Okay.
went and got a couple people to come sign their names on the board. And then I went and ended up going to a school board meeting, and it was just a lot. And I ended up getting us a team at the school.
So when you're looking at OnTECH and looking at the opportunity, how long did it take you coming from Grimes to OnTECH to really feel like, hey, this is the right place for me?
It was really an immediate thing because it was like we were all together. Like OnTECH is like a family, so like being there, you like feel together. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. How would you describe the family? Why does it feel so together at OnTECH? What is it that makes it feel like a family?
The connections, the teachers, the players, they really just they try to make you feel comfortable. They're like, we don't leave people out. So like, like at other places, there'll be distant groups of like certain different kids. They don't do that there. We like all come together, and I really appreciate that.
And you talked about not playing in the city, playing somewhere else, and you did that with Grimes. OnTECH, you're in the city of Syracuse, but you're at this very unique school, this charter school that has no districts. You can come from anywhere. So when you were looking at where to go after Grimes, OnTECH, you talk about the family side of it. What else about OnTECH stood out to you and to be a part of, essentially being back in the city of Syracuse?
Yeah. What stood out to me is that the school goes based off of like they like the student voice. They really like to listen and hear the student's voice, and I really appreciate that because I'm really one of them kids who like to use their voice and stand for what they believe in.
How did you find OnTECH? Who brought you there? How did it all come about in that respect?
I found OnTECH because of my old teacher at Southside, Miss Lewis.
Miss Lewis?
Mhm.
So were you at Grimes still when she reached out to you, or how did that happen?
No, so I went to OnTECH initially, but we were partnered with them.
Okay. So when you talked to Miss Lewis, what'd she say about OnTECH?
She was basically telling me how they were a family and that they were just all, basically like together there.
You said you're a student who speaks up. You like to share your opinions.
Yeah.
How did you find your voice? How have you become a person that's so open to stating how you feel or what you're thinking?
So I used to like go about things the wrong way. I used to like try to approach things in a sense where like I was loud and just lashing out. And like being at OnTECH, they told me that that's not always how you got to go about the things that you want to speak up about, especially being a young black man. You got to like approach situations differently. You can't just be loud and lashing out because people are going to look at you like you just a loud black man and nobody's going to listen to you like that.
So when you hear, like, hey, there's a way that you go about, you don't be loud and lashing out and find your voice, but find it in like a peaceful and direct way. Who helped you to get there at OnTECH? Who helped you to really feel comfortable in your voice?
Really, the person that helped me feel comfortable in my voice was Miss Lewis. She would like sit down and talk with me, and even if I was lashing out, she would help try to get my point across to the other people at the school.
And when you speak about Miss Lewis, what is your favorite thing about her?
The fact that she sits down and tries to listen to the kids, like she'll try to get your point across. Like she's one of the person at that building that takes the most time to try to get the kids' point across to the adults.
And it's funny how we link the first ever episode of Wolfpack Mentality to the second episode, as Heaven Lewis was with me as my guest. So, she spoke about going beyond teaching and really, speaking with you about social media, about mental health, about things that are going on in your life. So how does she show you on the daily that she's really there for you?
I think Ms. Lewis really takes huge steps to show me that she's there on a daily. Like she pushes multiple kids to get to practice. She even drops me off most days. She's literally just somebody who's gonna be there for you in any way that she possibly can.
To have someone in your corner outside of your own family, like Heaven,
Mm-hmm.
what has that done for you? What has that meant to you to know that she'll do whatever she can to help without even having to be asked to do it?
For me, that's really a lot because when I was growing up, I really didn't feel like I had a lot of people that supported me even in my family. So just seeing somebody that would do that outside of my family really showed me that it's people here for you.
And how did you grow up? How would you describe your childhood?
My childhood, I would say I had a good childhood, but at parts I would just make it difficult on myself by not listening to my mom or just not wanting to hear what she says.
What can you say about mom now? Do you listen more now?
Yeah, definitely listen more now. Me and my mom's actually on a great path. We get in a good relationship now.
How did it change for the better?
It changed wonderfully. Like I just used to like have some sort of like bad relationship with my mom, and that was just basically on me not listening and stuff. But now that we having a good relationship, it's affecting my mental. I'm feeling better mentally and everything.
What does mom think about OnTECH and you being there?
My mom's actually one of the ones who wanted me to go there too because I wanted to go to CNS, but she was like, "Nah, you just gonna go here." So she's actually very good about OnTECH.
What's mom's first name?
Rakisha.
Rakisha. If you could say anything to Rakisha right now, if she's watching, what would you want to say?
I love you, Mom.
And you're when you're growing up, like you said, and mom looking out for you, and you learning how to listen and appreciate and whatnot. You've obviously grown as a young man. How old are you now?
18.
So you're 18 years old. If you could go back to like 10-year-old you, what would you say to the 10-year-old version of you? What advice would you give?
Hey, you gotta stop being bad in school. You got to. Just that.
And you talk about Miss Lewis, you talk about your mom, people that were there for you outside of your family, beyond Miss Lewis and whatnot. But you have to make a decision, right? To change for the better. You can bring the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So when in your life did you feel like you were at a crossroads of, I can keep going this way, like you said, don't be bad in school, so I could keep kind of going down that road of negativity, or I can switch to positive and, do better for myself? When do you feel like that happened for you?
That happened for me about, it was 7th grade, the year after COVID when all the kids started going back to school. I got held back, and that it really told me, okay, I gotta lock in and like focus on school and stuff and focus on me and not trying to be a class clown and all that other stuff.
So the adversity of being held back is where you feel like you transitioned into a positive.
Yeah.
What did you learn in that year that you were held back in 7th grade?
That it's really on you. You can't slack and then expect to be pushed forwards. You can't like just be lazy all year and then expect, okay, you can just move on. No, it's not how it works.
So you go through that year, you go through that adversity. What was your favorite part of that year when you look back on it?
Meeting all the new people. I met a bunch of new friends that I'm still friends with today, and that was the best part of it.
Now, when did football come in for you within all of this? When did you start playing football?
I started playing football in 3rd grade, but then I didn't play after that because I was in so much trouble in school. So I started playing back up again during high school.
So OnTECH is when you started to play again, when you got this relationship. You're an athlete, which is the title you put on a student athlete that plays multiple positions. You just put ATH. So what positions do you play currently?
Mainly this season, I will be playing QB.
Okay. What other positions have you played, or has there maybe been an interest in?
Yeah. Oh, my main position that I truly like to play in is running back.
Okay. So you said you believe you'll be at quarterback this year, but you've played at running back.
Mm-hmm.
If you could choose right now, which one would you choose?
Running back.
Running back?
Yeah,
Why?
I'm a true runner on the field. My vision and being able to just read the defense during runs, it's beautiful.
Okay. But you believe you're going to be more at quarterback. What makes you believe that?
I need to take a step up and play QB for my team this year because we don't have, the right people for it right now.
Okay. So as a quarterback, how do you feel about you said you love to run, you love your vision at running back, but as a dual threat quarterback, what can you say about your passing ability?
My passing, I've really been working on it this summer, and I'm very confident in it.
What have you done to improve your efficiency as a passer?
I've been working on just keeping the ball up, getting it up, and just working on my follow through with the ball.
Why do you love football? Why football?
I don't know, I love football. I really love football because it is something where I can come and relax and just clear my head from all the stress that I got going on. And I just love the game. It's good to focus on. I have fun with my friends, everything.
And you talk about OnTECH being a family. How do you see that with the football program specifically?
OnTECH being a fan of the football program really just builds onto it. Like, it allows even people who haven't even got to the school yet to come in and meet the faces that they're going to be seeing every day, all day. So it's like we just building on that.
Who are some of your teammates that you feel like you've really built a close relationship with?
Some of my teammates is Izzy and DJ.
So you say Izzy and DJ. Why those two? Why? We'll start with Izzy. What is it about Izzy that you feel like has made you so close and built such a good relationship?
So me and Izzy, we actually went to middle school together, but we were never actually that close in middle school. We were both kind of quiet in our own little worlds. So like just building on that connection and now actually being closer. Yeah.
So having that connection and building on that connection. Then DJ, I got to meet at your festival. What is it about DJ that you feel like makes you so close?
So DJ is actually my brother's cousin on his dad's side. So we just been building off of that and been getting very close.
Yeah. And so to have those connections, to have those relationships, what has that done for you? How have Izzy and DJ maybe helped you to become the best version of yourself?
Oh, they actually pushed me to come to practice. Like DJ, he was just pushing me to come to practice yesterday when I didn't feel like it because I was in a very bad mood. But yeah, my teammates, they pushed me to be there. So it's like, they're good.
And you had mentioned Grimes and that connection. I do want to make a note here that OnTECH used to partner with Grimes, started an 8-man program when they closed and brought over their coaches to start the program last year. So that partnership, to kind of clarify a little bit when you talk about Grimes, that connection with OnTECH. So, OnTECH has been such a part of you. When did you start at OnTECH?
I started OnTECH in 2024, I believe, or 2023.
So you've been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone had never come to the school before, didn't know anything about OnTECH, how would you describe OnTECH to a stranger?
I would describe OnTECH as a place where you can come and feel a part of something. You can come and feel a part of a family, and your voice will always matter. And people aren't just going to leave you out as an exile or I don't even know the word, but you'll be a part of the family.
How do you feel a part of the family every day? You keep mentioning that word family. How do you see that when you go up and down the halls at OnTECH?
So when you go up and down the halls at OnTECH, you're really going to feel and see that family energy because every teacher will talk to you. Somebody will be asking how your day is. Somebody's going to check on you. Like, there's multiple days where I walk around where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to try to be on my own show today. And I can't. Somebody's going to check on you. Somebody's going to ask how you're doing. It's a family. Nobody's just going to let you be down and sad or by yourself at that building.
When you want to be alone, when you want to kind of, like you said, just crawl up into a ball and whatnot, and they don't let that happen. What does that mean to you that there's always somebody going, no, don't close off, like we're here with you?
Yeah, it really means everything to me that there's somebody always there for me because there's just really moments where people are down in life where they need somebody there and they don't know what that impact really means. But, one person saying something to you can really mean a lot.
What's the best piece of advice that was ever said to you at OnTECH, if you can remember it?
That me sitting at home isn't doing nothing. You cannot close yourself off from people and then expect things to get better.
I love that. I can appreciate that. Kamari McMullin here with me in this edition of Wolfpack Mentality and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with OnTECH Charter High School in Syracuse, the first high school to sign a partnership of this magnitude ever in Central and Upstate New York history, as we are here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Kamari, we've spoken about a lot of things on and off the field. You're here with Alan Bidwell, who's off camera with us here, an athletic director and also someone who teaches at the school. What can you say about your relationship with Alan? And so you talk about people being there for you. He drove you over to the studio today.
Alan Bidwell, I love our athletic director. He's like one of the top reasons why we got this football program. Ever since he's been at the school, he's been doing so much with our athletic programs. Like, he's just so good at it. And, like, he's really one of the teachers that's going to be there for you. Like, I was just sad, and he was one of the people that came up to me, asked me how I was doing, trying to check on me. Like, he's been there for me ever since we had our coaches change. He's been doing a lot to try to check up on us.
What was it like going through the coaching change, and how did you navigate it?
For me, this coaching change has been really difficult because I truly, really love my coach, and I do miss him. So at first, it's been a little rocky, and I didn't want to try to give the new coaches a chance, but I'm really trying now.
And how would you say it's going now?
Now it's going good. I'm putting my energy into it. I'm not just walking around mopey at practice because I realize that I'm a leader and it's my senior year. I can't walk around mopey and give off that energy to the freshmen or any underclassmen. I gotta show them that I'm a leader.
You brought up being a leader. How would you define leadership?
Leadership is someone who knows that they can not control the path, but they can steer the path of other people in a good way. And it's just based off of how you do it. If you know that you can steer other kids into a good path, are you going to or are you not?
So, how are you steering your teammates and your classmates into a good path?
So I'm trying to just keep our mentality up at practice, keeping the energy up. Because what I realize is when my energy is down at practice, they will follow my energy. So I've been trying to keep my energy up and just keeping the mentality up and making sure that it's fun.
You talk about mentality. We call this segment Wolfpack Mentality. So, how would you describe the mentality of the Wolfpack?
The Wolfpack mentality is that we got an aggressive mindset, aggressive mentality, and we just want to be real aggressive, but at the same time we want to be kind and comforting with our own teammates. We want to make sure that everybody's good and everybody's ready and everybody's set.
So, as you step forward here, I've gotten to see these football jerseys. They look nice.
Yeah.
I kind of want to wear one myself. So, how would you describe the drip of being at the OnTECH Charter High School and part of the Grey Wolves?
OnTECH Charter High School, I think we have the best football jerseys in the whole section. You just got to see them.
And excitement for your first game. Bring me into that, the preparation of the first time you get to go up against somebody else.
First game against West Canada Valley is going to be home. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to show y'all magic. We're going to make sure everybody believes on OnTECH this year.
And you get to use facilities from West Jenny to play your football games. What can you say about your field and your home field advantage, so to speak? What's it like to be at West Jenny with the fields that you have, that you utilize in the Camillus area?
The home field is nice, and I really love that we're going to be playing a lot of under lights games this season. And the crowd, our fans, are going to get us really energized and energetic this year.
How would you describe the OnTECH community when it comes to the fans or comes to your support?
Our fans, they show some good support. Sometimes, your fans are going to talk trash, but that's just fans.
So we talk about mentality. We talk about outside noise. How do you calm yourself? How do you kind of take away the outside noise and stay strong mentally?
So after playing football for so long and hearing the crowd, you kind of like just learn to tune it out. So when I'm playing, I don't really hear it.
Mental health means what to you?
Mental health means a lot to me. I've had my ups and downs and struggles with it, so it really means a lot to me.
You said you've had your ups and downs. I have as well. We all go through it. I don't think you're ever completely done with it. I think it's a daily thing to work on. So how do you work on your mental health and mental toughness daily?
My mental health, I try to not be as alone. I try to be with my friends because I know they struggle with it just as much as I do, even though they don't like to speak up about it.
How do you help somebody else? When you said, they don't speak up as much about it, how do you help?
The way I try to help my friends is just being with them, trying to listen to them when they talk, because I know I might not have the answers, but I know just somebody being there to listen to them is going to help.
And when you need help, where do you go?
When I need help, I try to go to people, but it's not like one of the first things I'm going to go do. I'll probably just go play football or basketball.
So you like to kind of just shut out the noise and go play a sport?
Yeah.
What is basketball or football in a tough moment? If you're having, a mentally exhausting day or a tough day or you're struggling, what does playing sports do for you to make things better?
Sports just clear my mind. I don't know. Sports has always been something that I can go to that'll clear my plate, and then I'll just be reset because you sitting there, you laughing, you playing the sport with somebody. It's fun. It takes away from everything.
Do you like to go out and have somebody with you on the court or the field most of the time? Yeah, you do. So who are you asking to come out with you typically?
Usually I'm asking my friend Daryl, Jasir, Quell, and all of them come out with me.
And when you have those moments where you need a pick-me-up and you're out there with them, why choose the guys that you chose? What is it about them that you feel like just brings you back to a positive place, I guess?
that's a group that I've been with since my middle school years. So it's just like we're real close, and when we have problems, we're able to go to each other and talk to them about it. So it's just like I like to be with that close group of friends. When I'm down, it lifts me up.
How important is friendship?
Friendship is one of the most important things in the world.
And for you, you talk about the people that help you. And we've also spoken about your leadership. How have you grown in helping others? What would you say about paying it forward in your own life?
How I've grown in helping others is I had to realize that, you can't always try to have answers for the situation. You're not going to always be able to fix it, but you can listen.
I love this conversation because I feel like it's so needed in today's world for sure. And it's coming from an 18-year-old. So God bless you for that. Kamari McMullin here in this edition of the Wolfpack Mentality inside of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with OnTECH Charter High School in Syracuse, New York, my hometown. And before we get into rapid fire, where you and I get to know each other with some questions about literally anything, I want to go to football directly because we talked a little bit off the air about this. But favorite running back of all time?
My favorite running back of all time is Marshawn Lynch.
And why?
Because of his run after the contact.
Do you think that they should have given Marshawn Lynch the ball at the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl?
Yes. We would have won if they would have just gave him the ball.
So, favorite quarterback currently in the NFL?
Favorite quarterback, C.J. Stroud.
Why?
Because his explosive rookie year, he just got to come back. He just got to do better.
Okay. All right. So, do you think he will?
Yeah.
What makes you believe in CJ?
We got Tank Dell back and Nico Collins. We got the best receiver doing the NFL.
All right. Are you a Texan fan?
No.
Who are you a fan of?
I'm a fan of the Giants.
Okay. So you pitch to me and the world that's watching why the Giants are going to win the East this year, the NFC East.
We got Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbull. That's all we need. Oh, and Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors back healthy? Oh, yes.
What about your thoughts on Odell Beckham unretiring?
He could have stayed retired, but I believe in him this season. I believe in him.
Okay, fair enough. Favorite, if you couldn't play for the Giants, but you could play for any other NFL franchise of the other 31, who would you play for and why?
The Texans. They don't really have a running back right now.
Okay. All right. So you go to the Texans. Fair enough. Let's play some rapid fire here with Kamari McMullin. Kamari, you can ask me any topic, any question. We're going to go back and forth. You'll ask the first question, I'll ask the second, and we'll go for a few here. But it can be music, movies, TV, childhood, literally anything in the world. What's your first question?
What got you started in podcasting?
It's broadcasting to me, whether it's in my studio or it was working for somebody else. A microphone's a microphone, a camera's a camera. And I started in traditional radio. I worked in TV as well. And I made the decision to shift to my own business back in, my goodness, July 20th of 2012. And so what got me into it, I was having these conversations off the air. I love sports. I love bringing people together. I love helping people to smile and laugh and cry for the right reasons. There's a quote by Jim Valvano that said, if you think, laugh, and cry in a day, you had one hell of a day. And I took that to heart. I really love bringing people together. I love genuine emotion, showing people that you care about them, giving them a spotlight, letting them tell their story. I think a common misconception about a broadcaster is that we just like to hear ourselves talk, but we don't listen. And I would say that, you can see in the studio, I don't have a notebook in my hand. So obviously I have to listen to you in order to ask the next question. And we've had about 20 questions here. So I think showing people that you care, that they matter. And, my legacy in this world is that when I'm done with this world, hopefully 100-something years old, and I go peacefully in my sleep, that the people that have crossed paths with me know how valued they are, how much they matter. And hopefully I shined a little bit of light, made them laugh and made them think, maybe help them to make a good decision in their life. That's my hope. So I got into this to reach as many people as I could and hopefully shine a lot of light. My question back to you, Kamari, if you took over my show for the day and it was Wake Up Call Tomorrow Morning with Kamari McMullin, who would be, pardon me, your 3 guests that you would have on the show? So it's Wake Up Call with Kamari McMullin featuring 3 people. Could be sports, entertainment, family, friends, literally whoever you want. Who would you have on and why?
I would interview 3 players from my team. It would go with Israel K-Gel, Shahari Hell, and DJ Williams.
Why?
I would interview them because I feel like they have something to say. And I know that DJ and Izzy and Shahari all really want to get themselves out there and put their name out there.
So you would have them out there and put their name out because they're not typical to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What's your next question for me?
My next question is, how do you feel about Avengers Doomsday?
I love that you asked that question. I think you saw it in my office that, obviously we have an entertainment show called Superpowered Pop. I do a lot of Marvel coverage with Parker Banner, Kent and Wayne Comics and Games that's down in Cornelius, North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte. So how do I feel about Avengers Doomsday? I am a big fan of Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. I'm interested in this Doom side of things. And I think, there's certain things in movie trailers that get you. It could be the sound of the music, where it hits and what's happening in the action. It could be something that's said. And in the newest trailer, when Thor takes Stormbreaker and he tries to hit Doom with it, and Doom stops it with his finger, and before Thor does it, he says, "I will." What does he say? I'll bring you hell. I'll bring you hell, but I'll make you beg for it long before I give it. And Doom says, he just in his when he says, "Hell answers to me." Like that.
That was cold.
That moment, I was like, this movie's going to be crazy. And I think, Reed talking to him, Mr. Fantastic, when he says, "Victor, did you do this?" And you just see his eyes, and then waking up all the Sentinels and saying, "I'm Doom." I am so excited to see how this is going to work, who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. I love that the X-Men are in it. So, in Nightcrawler, I cannot wait to see his power of teleportation again. It's been a long time for Alan Cumming. So, I would honestly tell you that I am so excited to be immersed in it, and I hope it's a fantastic movie because these are the type of movies I'll see like 3 or 4 times. So, my question back to you about Avengers Doomsday is you got to give me 2 things. If Kamari McMullin was a hero in Avengers Doomsday, who would you play and why? And then secondly, if you were a villain in Avengers Doomsday, who would you be and why?
Ooh, if I was a hero, I would be Cyclops. Cyclops is my favorite X-Man, so I would be him. But if I was a villain, gotta be Doom. Doom's looking like he's gonna win it all. Yeah, you gotta be Doom.
All right. What's your next question for me?
My next question for you is, did you play any sports growing up?
I did. I played basketball predominantly, and still to this day, I'll go out and shoot. I always tell people, if you give me 5 half-court shots, I trust that I'll make 1. I have been in 4 or 5 gyms here in Central New York. I've been outdoors down in Florida, and I have a witness that I've made my first, my second, or my 5th half-court shot every single time that I said it.
Okay, we gotta set that up.
So, man, I'm ready for it. My question back to you, Kamari, if you could trade lives with anyone in the world for 24 hours, who would you be and why?
If I could trade anyone in the world for 24 hours, we do Patrick Mahomes. I want to see those rings.
You want to see the rings?
Yeah, I want to see those rings.
You just got to go in the house and look at the rings.
Look at them.
Okay. All right. Well, Kamari, typically we don't do more than 3, but I love having you here in the studio. So for this Wolfpack Mentality, as we make history with our first ever OnTECH Charter High School guest in studio, you get to ask me one more and I'll ask one more. What do you got?
Who's your favorite superhero?
Of all time, my favorite superhero since I was very little is Spider-Man. You know what? I do find that with great power comes great responsibility. I think the media has, when I turn my microphone on in the morning, I have the great power of affecting people positively or negatively, telling the truth, spreading a lie. And there's a responsibility that goes with what you say. I do find great power in this. We've talked with people watch and listen from all over the world, from all over the country. And so every time I turn the mic on, I feel the weight of telling the truth, being consistent, caring, showing my faith in God, not apologizing for that, and being real with people. I do definitely embody Spider-Man's with great power comes great responsibility. And God does know that randomly in my life, I will flick my wrist, hoping that a web will come out. And I just once do I want it to happen, to have the power of Spider-Man for the day. And I will say this, Kamari, I don't think you know this, but the first major motion picture that I ever got to work on was The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I was in the movie as an extra in one of the chase scenes. So you can go back and watch that movie with Andrew Garfield and you can actually see me in the movie, which is pretty wild for a kid that grew up a Spider-Man fan to then get to play in a Spider-Man movie was pretty insane. My final question for you. Kamari, if you were president of the United States and you could give one piece of advice to this country right now, you step up to the mic and you say blank. What are you going to say?
I would say we all should try harder to come together.
We all should try harder to come together. I'd vote for you. Kamari McMullin, here in this edition of the Wolfpack Mentality on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Thank you for being with us. Thank you to OnTECH Charter High School for all that you do to provide opportunities for Kamari and so many students here in our community, students and student athletes. Thank you for daring to be different and for caring about the mental health, the emotional health, and the overall well-being of those that come through your doors. OnTECH Charter High School, let's keep making history in this community, and let's keep doing it in a positive and consistent fashion so that we build a better community for the future and that we help out these young men and women to move forward with a strong mentality, a healthy mentality, a Wolfpack mentality. We'll be back right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Please stay with us.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Avicoli's restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on in to the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's KAMP ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily?
Hello, this is Dylan Husted, the owner of the Baked Potato Express. We do mostly big festivals or big corporate like private events. Typically just big festivals such as like Taste of Syracuse, Food Truck Battle, Battle of the Wings. I do the State Fair. They're ordering from a fresh food truck that is making real food and happy to make it and wants them to enjoy every bite. We season every potato before they go in the oven, and then they bake for an hour, and when they come out, we season them again after we cut them. We use real butter, real cheese, real ingredients, so it's all really good food and people love it. We have a lot of returning customers and regulars that we see very often. The customers really make a big impact, and this is a big food truck community. The events here are super busy. It's like in my blood. I like building things and creating stuff that people love, and me and my friends are the ones that run the truck, so it's kind of, we keep it's a tight circle in there, and we have like a family sort of oriented truck, and it's a lot of fun, and we have a good time doing it, and people love our food, so it ends up making it well for everybody. You can contact the Baked Potato Express at thebakedpotatoexpress@gmail.com or the Baked Potato Express on Instagram or TikTok.
We are very happy to be partnered up with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as the exclusive sponsor of the Annoying Moment of the Week. And be sure to try DT's baked potato creation at all of our food trucks. The Baked Potato Express. Let's get baked.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Big West, only the bold.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. GG Cards and Breaks, a special place that you will find open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sundays from 10 to 5, and just an awesome experience to get closer to the teams you love, the players you love, the sports you love, as well as the games you love to play. There is never a bad time to be a kid, and my favorite adults are the ones that never lose their kid spirit. So there's something special about GG Cards and Breaks, about the way that they go about their business, how they bring people together, and all the beautiful things that are all wrapped around cards, pieces of cardboard that for decades have brought people together. And at GG Cards and Breaks, when you see the trade nights and the events that they do, and what we got to do with Kai and Anthony last year, like there's all of this beauty that comes around something so simple. I love it. I appreciate it. I value it. And I thank Josh and Anthony and the whole team at GG Cards and Breaks for making it possible. Go and see them today for singles, packs, boxes, graded cards, all types of things, everything to protect your cards, to travel with them, showcase them. Hockey, soccer, baseball, basketball, football, Disney Arcana, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, One Piece. There's something for everybody at GG Cards and Breaks. And it's always fun to open a pack or a box because you never know what you're going to get. And that's the beauty of the card world. So head out there today, go have some fun, and go be a big kid. You won't be disappointed, and you won't regret those moments. Trust me. I've had plenty of them with my family and my friends, and I love every second of it. We'll see you at GG Cards and Breaks on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. With that being said, I want to thank you for being a part of today's show, and I just want to take a moment. Yeah, I've been emotional this week, and y'all know that I don't hide my emotions from you. I just want to thank everybody, because this road has been a lot of things, and I get asked all the time, why did I get into it? How did I get into it? And, I just always believed in myself. And in other parts of my life, I've struggled to believe in myself. I've struggled to think I'm good enough or deserving. But when it comes to this part of my life, I have always felt good enough. I've always felt like I should, and I can, and I will. I have had a fearlessness in my career, and I thank God for it every day, because nobody was going to tell me no and have that stick. If you didn't want me at your place, that was your loss, not mine. If you didn't think I had what it took, that was your loss, not mine. And when I started my company, man, I had nobody to go off of. I had no mentor. I had mentors in my life, but I had nobody to really show me the way. And, the internet and whatnot wasn't going. I mean, it wasn't at a place where people thought, like, this is a real thing, it's going to happen. And I think people thought it was going to fail, or it didn't even matter. They didn't even know the word podcasting. And, I stepped out into this foreign thing that wasn't foreign to me, because to me, broadcasting is broadcasting, and I believed in myself. And I look back and I look forward now, and working with colleges and universities directly, I mean, that was a dream of mine. And now I've worked with schools that are Division I NCAA, Division II, Division III, USCAA, NJCAA, and all of that in less than a decade. And now I'm working with OnTECH Charter High School, my first ever high school with a partnership like this. So we made history with colleges and universities. We made history with a high school. And then the Big West signs on, and I have an entire NCAA Division I conference working directly with my company. A company that I started in 2012 when I was considered crazy for leaving traditional radio. It was never going to work. Oh, that's cute that Dan's doing that thing over there. There wasn't a lot of people that believed in me. And here I am 14 plus years later, and the faith that I've had and the fearlessness, it's something that I wish I carried to other parts of my life, and I work to do that. But God, I hope I help somebody by doing what I do. Because if you don't believe in God, I am here to tell you that without Him, none of these 14 years happen. I had little to no money. I had nothing to go off of, no predecessor, no blueprint. I literally stepped out into this world with a blank sheet of paper. And to look at it 14 years later, I am incredibly grateful and blessed and proud. I worked really, really hard at it. And I always believed in myself. And it's the one thing in my life that I feel like I didn't fail at. So I just want to thank all of you that have been supportive and kind. I want to thank every business that has believed in me. I want to thank every kid and coach and administrator and president and athletic director and alum, former players and coaches. I want to thank every single one of you. This was a little kid's dream, and you helped me do it. And I've only just begun. I don't know, what do they say? That I don't know where my life's going to go, but I know who's going to guide it. Something of that nature. Like, I know God is I don't know what the world's going to bring me, but I know who has me. And I'll say, God, most of this journey has not been what I thought it would be or anticipated it or predicted it to be. But I can say you've never been wrong, and you've always had my best at heart. You know, you've always wanted the best for me. So as I embark on the next step in my journey, and I continue to have these meetings behind the scenes and work on these things, I want to say thank you to God ahead of time for taking care of a little kid's dream. I hope to lead a family someday, and I hope to share all of this with them. Thank you for being up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe with us on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.mixlr.com. I also appreciate all of you that have been with us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. Thank you for searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT, on any one of these outlets. For downloading us, subscribing, and following us, I appreciate you greatly. Please make sure to do it if you haven't, and tell your loved ones to as well. Many thanks to our wonderful partners in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes Honda City, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Mon Paz, the snack capital of the world, the Baked Potato Express, Gray's Craze of Clay, New York, Skippy's Ice Cream, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Pizza Man, Mother's Cupboard, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Avicoli's, Game Point Sports Complex, Willow Rock Pizza Pub, and the Willow Rock Brewing Company. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your OnTECH Charter High School and your Gray Wolves. We are here with the Wolves every single month, and I can't thank them enough for entrusting me to tell their story and making history with me by signing a partnership in this exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. Like I said, the first of its kind in this community for any school. So thank you to OnTECH for trusting me with your message and giving me the beautiful and wonderful chance to share the stories of students, student athletes, coaches, administration. I can't thank you enough. For those of you that don't know OnTECH Charter High School, or some of you that do know it, I do want to remind you in that case that it is a fresh start for high school success with personalized learning, hands-on opportunities, and a growing athletic program. They're focused on graduation and career readiness, strong student-to-staff relationships, leadership opportunities, and being a different high school located in Syracuse, New York, open to all students in New York State, regardless of district. You could be part of the Wolfpack, where they put a premium on creating a healthy, caring community that focuses on the mental and physical health of teenagers. For more information, go to ontechcharter.com and go Gray Wolves. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bearcats every Tuesday during Bearcat time at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining the broadcast. You can find it all by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the Binghamton playlist. The Bearcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com. And for more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com. Go Bearcats. With that being said, here on the show, I want to thank Papa Joe again for being a part of this inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. I want to thank his leadership and him being another dad to me in life. I cannot thank you enough, Papa Joe. Thank you to the wonderful OnTECH Charter High School in Syracuse, New York. Thank you to Alan Bidwell, to Alan, to Ellen, to the entire board. Thank you to Kamari McMullin for making history today, joining me in studio as the first guest ever with OnTECH Charter High School to ever be in studio to do the interview. I appreciate you so much. Make sure that you go back and watch my special with him, which will air directly later today on our social media and our YouTube channel. You could go and watch Heaven Lewis's special on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt under OnTECH And OnTECH is right there, has their own playlist on our YouTube channel, which is at Wake Up Call DT. In the meantime, find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. God bless you all, truly. If you don't believe in God, I implore you to just pray once or twice and to open up the conversation. No stress, I always say here on the show. I am a terrible, terrible example of that sometimes, but please try to have faith in yourself, believe that you're deserving of things, and go out and have the confidence that you deserve to have the best in life, and always do your best, because your best will be good enough. Even when you struggle, even when you fail, your best will be good enough to those that truly care about you, because sometimes giving your best is giving, whatever you can muster up that day. Tom Hardy had a quote about something that I wanted to share here, and I'm going to hope that I can find it here. So Tom Hardy, who played Venom, who's one of my favorite characters of all time, he said, at your very best, you still won't be good enough for the wrong person. But at your absolute worst, you'll still be worth it to the right person. Never forget that. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Take care.